But Shane, who's kind of mic'd up right now. Come up here, go out of bubble. Come up here, go out of bubble. The number after a loss. That includes the game 7. This is the second round of contender. They had a tough loss facing elimination. Talked about that was a lot of pressure against the Nuggets team that obviously had championship material on their squad. And they beat the Nuggets to advance to the conference finals. This will be their second game 7 of these 2025 playoffs. This crowd is just delirious. Such a great basketball town. All NBA championships. They've been playing a long time for that game championship. Their team will play one on Sunday night. We'll have a watch party here. The whole state of Indiana is going to have a watch party. I promise you that. But he's taking care of the ball. Only 10 turnovers. That is huge. And mama, there goes that man, Mark Jackson. Rick Smith, the Ducking Dutchman from Eindhoven, Holland. Lance Stevenson. So many bases of return during the playoffs. Meta world peace. They're all over the place. So Derek, the key earlier. Davis. Of course, where'd you go? Thanks. We just actually let us know how the zip back has been ejected from the game. I didn't think your mark fell at the time. Go ahead. Styles have been so riveting and compelling. So unpredictable. And also had tornado warnings in NBA finals this year. Maybe 2 cities. NBA family commemorates Juneteenth by honoring the history and heritage of the Black community today and every day. We honor the values of freedom, family, and tradition. Sounds like it says best viewers in sports. Game 7, and that's what we'll have. By Sunday night, OKC.
They said that the 2 best teams for January 1st forward to this point. And it's interesting, very well constructed rosters, 2 teams and organizations that clearly and get.
It is not to be said. It is not, well, it's the truth. It is the truth. The best winners and always still is the game 7. These fans are going to enjoy every second of the final person signing of its love of the facing team. Team again starts since 1915. Explosive finish in the regular season. Always comebacks. I came here the end. They get up and fight again. I'm going to struggle at it. Matthew Crawford ride for the Pacers is not over. They'll play for an NBA title on Sunday night in Game 7. The city's turning to respond.
Consistently play tough, physical, incredibly hard playing basketball.
Let's go, Lisa.
Tyrese, you guys are facing elimination and respond with a beatdown. What does that say about the team?
Yeah, we just want to protect home court. You know, we didn't want to see the guys celebrate the championship on our home floor. Backs against the wall. We just responded. So many different guys chip in. Solo team effort. Really proud of this group.
Going into the game, there were so many questions about their health and that calf strain. Just how were you able to just battle through it tonight?
The finals, like, you know, all of us gotta get our thing out. You know, I do everything I have for this group. It's locking them. So, trying to come out here and play the best of my ability. I'm guys have my back all year, especially tonight, and I think the world for me.
Look like yourself. Just how does it like feel?
It's okay. It's okay. Got a couple days now to take care of it, get it right, and be ready. You know, we got one game. You know, all the cards on the table. Be a lot of fun.
Describe the impact that TJ McConnell will have on us.
He's unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. I don't like I have the words. The Great White Hope. You know, that's what we call him. But he's just amazing. Continues to get that help and pressure on the defense. And man, he's unbelievable.
How do you now perform the role where OKC has been so strong, especially coming off this? How do you go there? Getting the first championship.
It's about the margins. Like, it's about taking care of the ball and rebounding. Those are the most important thing. You know, you gotta control the controllables and let the cards fall where they may. You know, it's a one-game series now, and man, we believe. You know, we got a lot of faith in this group. So take care of our bodies, ready, and Game 7 NBA Finals. We're working together.
Nothing else. We'll see you on Sunday.
All right, you said, well, a great white home. Patients, fans home. Possible NBA championship. Game 7 in NBA Finals history. 4 times the road team has won. 19 games. 16. That was the last one. All comes down to one game. That's Sunday night. We'll have it for you on ABC from Oklahoma City. The tip off shortly after 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, the 4 days, and the ESPN radio. Our coverage will tip off NBA countdown at 7:30. Special thanks to our fantastic ABC crew, led by producer Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, host for Doris, Richard, and Lisa. Mike Briggs saying, join us Sunday night for the deciding Game 7 and an NBA championship. Coming up next on most of these ABC stations are late local news. Vegas Game Sports Center, Scott Van Pelt, full post-game coverage. We say now good night from Indianapolis. Back to watching ABC, all of the NBA Finals.
Decide to step up to this kind of play. This kind of fun. It's kind of experience.
Hey guys, why are you dressed like you're in a party man? The Kings and Big Fat No Fridge too. I'll get the free time.
Rated E for everyone.
Randy is not a big fan of cooking, but everyone loves his adobo chicken. Because with Goya adobo, a simple shape is all it takes to add authentic, bold Latin flavor to get a 5-star review. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Schroe Kubota has everything you need when it comes to Kubota power equipment. Now through June, they are offering no money down and 0% interest for up to 84 months on select compact tractors. Did you know that Ashbro Kubota also has top-notch Kubota rental equipment at affordable prices? We provide the highest quality Kubota products with integrity and professionalism. Ashbro Kubota, 125 Red Rock Road in Franklinville, or visit us online at ashbrokubota.com.
Gesture responds. Any car that doesn't offer that sense of control is a car that stops short of amazing.
If he doesn't look like his photo, at least he's adventurous. What if he's stuck in the past? At least he plays guitar.
A taste of real when you need it most. Goya coconut water with real coconut bites.
Good Morning America, weekdays at 7 on ABC 45. ABC 45 News at 6 and 11, standing up for you.
This is the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life.
Was found dead. And Juneteenth celebrations held in Kernersville. Why community members say these type of events help represent the community?
Covering the Triad and beyond. This is ABC 45 News at 11.
Well, good evening and thank you for staying up late with us for ABC 45 News at 11. I'm Ashley Paredes. The NBA Finals will be back Sunday in Oklahoma City. The game will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now we're going to go over to Chief Meteorologist Jonathan Went with your No Wait weather, Jonathan.
Hey, Ashley, it has been a very stormy afternoon. We've had widespread wind damage across Winston-Salem, Kernersville to Greensboro into Burlington. Numerous large trees down, power lines down, power outages scattered across the area from storms across the area this afternoon. Good news, things are winding down, but we've also seen flash flooding. Over 4 inches of rain has fallen in parts of Wilkes and Yadkin County. Area wide, we had about 1 to 2 inches. Now, we're still dealing with a few spotty showers out there this evening, but much of us has calmed down. Temperatures this evening sitting into the low 70s. You can see the storm activity now into eastern North Carolina. So a pretty quiet night for us. And overall, we're going to have very dry weather heading into the next several days. But that heat and humidity is going to be returning back and gets excessively hot later next week. Your full forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Jonathan. The extreme weather conditions have caused destruction in Winston-Salem. Storms from earlier this afternoon caused a tree to fall on a car. You're looking at it right there. It was massive. It happened near Cherokee Lane in New Sherwood. We're told the driver of that vehicle got out without any injuries. Well, heartbreaking details on what led up to the small plane crash in Mossville that left 2 dead and another injured. ABC 45's Bailey Sandwich joining us in studio with more on this investigation. Today, we're learning more about what happened moments leading up to the fatal private aircraft crash at Sugar Valley Airport on June 3rd. The National Transportation Safety Board releasing new details. The NTSB preliminary report tells of 2 witnesses. One was a Unicom operator who was looking out the airport office window, and one was a man cutting grass at the end of the runway. The investigation revealing the Universal Stinson 108 airplane was preparing to land when the Unicom operator alerted the pilot of a turtle on runway 2. The operator told authorities the pilot landed about 1,400 feet down the 2,400-foot runway and lifted the right main wheel to avoid the turtle. She heard the pilot advance the throttle and lost view of the plane shortly after. The second witness, the man cutting the grass, recounts the aircraft being brought back and forth before taking off again. He tells investigators we lost sight of the airplane behind the hangar, disappearing over the trees when he heard a loud crash and saw smoke. The report confirming the plane crashed in a forested area and could feel a wreck west of several trees on 100 degree heading. The control cables for the rudder elevator and the flap on the right wing were fine, but they couldn't confirm the same for the damaged left side. Names of those on board have not yet been released. The NTSB is continuing to investigate.
Mhm.
In Studio Bailey Stamos.
What's that?
45 News, handing up for you.
Okay, I can
Such
take
a
a look at that.
tragic situation. Well, tonight we're learning more about a young man from High Point. In Brownville, visiting the North Carolina coast with friends. 8245 Elizabeth spoke.
Yeah, I seen it. It's a moth.
Came across, and his true love was forged. Now the family is raising awareness in his honor.
This is the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life.
On Monday, around 3 p.m., Old Beach police say they responded to a water rescue for a deceased
Yeah, take them.
Michelle Bauer. The 23-year-old swimmer's body was later found on Wednesday.
They were just throwing a football. People on the shore saw it. They were just throwing a football.
Bauer said Matthew went to the beach with his friend, and in the blink of an eye, his life along with his family tragically changed forever.
I am blessed to be his mom. I'm really blessed to be his mom. And I am blessed that he has touched so many lives.
Matt was adopted as a baby and was the youngest of 8 siblings. His mom and aunt say he was full of life, and one of his favorite things was sports.
Or whatever, he would come home and he would come, I worked at Title I schools and he would come play ball with us boys.
Recently, Golden Beach added 72 beach safety stations, including a QR code that tells people the rip current conditions and a rescue tube. But the family wants more to be done.
I'm not saying that there was a red flag now, but it's gone. I'm not saying that. But you've got to give people the opportunity to make that choice for themselves, and if they don't even know, that's the problem.
They'd like to see more warning signs and additions of red flags around the beach.
This is a tragic accident, but we're not gonna let it go without purpose.
The family will hold a celebration of life with Matt on Saturday at Stokesville Park at 5 p.m. They are asking community members to bring a basketball, football, or any sport equipment. It will be donated in Matthew's honor to Title I schools in High Point. To learn more about the family's GoFundMe, you can go to our website. Reporting in studio, Lisbeth Ramirez, ABC 45 News, standing up for you. Well, cars submerged in the rock slide here in North Carolina. State line yesterday following serious flooding there. Interstate 40 was covered by a suspected rock slide after heavy rains inundated Cook County and eastern Tennessee. Now cleanup crews are busy at work following all of the heavy rain. Reporter Rex Hodge spoke with officials who say it's going to take some time to repair the road.
North Carolina Trooper Trevor Sawyer says mudslides happen in a couple spots. One at the 451 exit in Tennessee.
And actually, we go out of the river, where the river was actually running on, about 40 bigger rock slide was at the 450.
They happened late Wednesday afternoon, about a mile from the North Carolina line. Police traffic in both directions, forcing detours. Westbound traffic having to turn around at exit 20 in Hayward County, taking 40 to Asheville, I-26 to Johnson City, to I-81 South, back to 40.
That part around, really? Wow, must be a terrible mudslide.
Drivers resigned to the reality on the way, but we'll do it.
It's on the way up here, we were talking about, y'all just want to go to the sea and say, hang you down, but we. It's a good thing.
Trooper Sawyer advising summer travelers, some unaware of the closure.
Had numerous people already come through saying, I don't need down, I don't get a picture for it.
Tennessee DOT says mud and water remain in the area. Reopening 40 will be established once investigations are finished.
Allocate the roadway and the ramp of the nearby slope. And until those assessments are complete, we won't be able to have a timeline for when the interstate can possibly reopen in this area.
DOT anticipates it will be at least 2 weeks for water to recede, for repairs and cleanup to be completed. On the North Carolina side, Trooper Sawyer says local residents can get down to Pines Creek, White Oak, and Harmon Den, but not beyond exit 7. Tourism is key to Hayward County, especially in the summer. Lake Junaluska hosting one of its biggest conferences this weekend.
We haven't heard any negative conversation about it yet. So I think people have learned from our previous experience that there's other options to get here.
Tonight, the Kernersville community coming together for a Juneteenth celebration to highlight freedom, history, and unity. ABC 45's Marcel Francis has more from the event.
Kernersville Thursday evening members of the community came out to enjoy the food and festivities that its fourth annual Juneteenth celebration has to offer.
We've got food trucks, we've got vendors here tonight joining us as well. We've got a drone display, we've got fireworks in the night, which we didn't have last year.
The first couple hundred attendees were able to snag one of these shirts. Yet, people showed out for more than just a free swag and entertainment. Juneteenth is a holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. It's recognized annually on June 19th, marking the date in 1865 when enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, finally learned of their freedom. Juneteenth was recognized as a national holiday in 2021. Members of the Kernersville community say events like these are needed to be represented.
Well, it's amazing. It's good to see the area support something like this. Being a Black man, it's always good to see the community back. You and just your history. She's excited to be out here too. But it just means a lot to see that community support everyone.
Black history is having place in Kernersville all the way back to when the town was founded.
The Black community started a Black church in town, Providence Baptist, and the families from that group created groups, outreach groups like the Good Neighbor Club or the Carol Club.
Their contribution was vital, not only to the community of Kernersville, but to the entire triad.
And it means the world, right? Because we have a Black culture right here in the triad, right here in Kernersville. So for them to be seen, for them to be heard, to have an event specific to our declaration, that's what it means to the triad.
For upcoming Juneteenth events that will be taking place across the triad on Friday and this weekend, go to abc45.com. Reporting in Kernersville, Marcel Francis, ABC 45 News, standing up for you.
All right, Marcel, thank you for that report tonight. Earlier today on Juneteenth, the federal holiday again, President Donald Trump took to social media to criticize a number of non-working holidays in the US. He wrote, quote, "Too many non-working holidays in America. It is costing our country billions of dollars to keep all of these businesses closed. The workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for every once working day of the year. It must change if we are going to make America great again." The clock is ticking for a Helene relief bill. Why it's urgent for the legislature to adopt it.
The National News Desk, unbiased, fact-based news.
50 pesticides in school lunches. It's not